I'm Alex DelSordo, and this is another video breakdown of the Open Women. And I'm with Shane Farmer of Dark Horse Rowing. Shane, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Appreciate you having me. So for those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Shane Farmer. I started Dark Horse Rowing. We're the world's largest rowing resource, and we primarily start on the indoor side. So if you are somebody wanting to learn how to use the rowing machine, we got you. And if you are a coach who has rowing machines and you want to help teach better on that machine, then we got you covered on that as well. So that's basically where we come into this whole thing.
That's perfect. And dude, I know that you have a connection to some of these women in the open field, but look, the stats give me chills as I talk about this. 4 countries being represented, 5 Olympians, and record holders. Again, like, how often do you get a chance to talk to Olympians, to talk to world record holders? Like, our sport is really unique, and there's some really exciting matchups here that, like I was in the Open Men, I'm fanboying hard. And I want to talk about one. This is a rematch of the 2016 Olympics. This is UK versus the Brits, okay? Or the Brits versus the US. This is everything that we've been looking for in a tournament. We have
everybody needs this right now.
Like, I don't know if you know anything about them, but Jess Eddy lost the Olympics in 2016. UK, she's an animal in the boat. She's absolutely dedicated.
But to say that she lost the Olympics, that's a harsh undercut there. Let's give credit where credit is due.
She's better than us.
Performance. Yeah, right. I don't have a medal sitting on my wall over there.
No, but she sure does. Now, what are your thoughts on, you call it the old and the new, right? So Kendall is training now for the Olympics. She's already been to the Olympics. She's already working her butt off for this. But you have someone who now dedicates her training to different things, right? She's cross-training. She's doing other. She's an adult now. She's not just doing training all day long. Where's your money on this one? Are the Brits taking it, or is the U.S. stealing this one today?
So you got to balance like the spitfire, somebody who's literally in the fire in this moment. This like iron is just sitting in the fire, hot, ready to go, like just ready to do some damage. But then you've also got the person who's been through it. They have the life experience. They have the ability to look at this and say, okay, I understand what this is. This is not my only thing because I have other priorities going. I've got other training happening. I'm going to give this one to the experience. Now, I'd love to say that like the iron in the fire is the one that's going to take it, but being in the same place as somebody who's like moved on post competition, you got the family, you got the other train, it makes you compartmentalize that thing to give, you're not as good as you once were, but you're as good once as you ever were. I think that's what we're up against here.
So then there's your Final Four prediction right there. Number 1 slot is going to the GB. Now, there's a really interesting matchup between Carling Zeman and Morgan Bailey. Carling is one of the strongest women in this field. She's a Canadian, and she is going after the Olympics. Now, her coach used to coach Eric Murray and Bond from New Zealand. So she's got one of the best coaches in the world, most decorated coaches in the world. And it's so funny, we interviewed her, and she lives on a farm with her family. So I picture her like throwing hay bales and like chopping wood and like doing all these
strength,
just brute strength, right? So in your mind, does Carling move on to the Final Four in that category?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you look at that kind of a background. You look at somebody who I place a high value on grit whenever I'm looking at like ability to compete. And that to me, somebody who is raised farm strong, there's a level of grit there that you cannot undo. And there is no breaking through that. That is just as strong as it gets because there's no person is going to be able to overcome that level of fortitude.
Right. And I think I just have this image in my head, like, what is she doing right now at like 1:30 in the afternoon? And it's like, she's milking cows or she's doing something.
Fixing fence. Yeah.
Exactly. Like lugging something.
Yeah.
Just because, right?
You're right.
We all know that this superhero from the Ukraine is advancing. Like, now I think that you watched her row before, or erg. Is that true? Like, was she in Budapest at the time?
Yep, she was with, so both Anna and Elena were with us in Budapest, as well as both of them were in Paris at World Rowing Indoor Championships. So I've been able to be around both of them. They're both just incredible humans. And also they love competing with each other. Like no matter where they're on the floor, you know that these two are always giving each other like the nod across the floor and the like wink ahead of the race, because they just know that they're going to have fun together. Hands down though, I got to give it to Elena. I mean, she's just
Germany.
Watched her perform and it's just unreal. It's unreal.
She's 6. How tall is she?
I actually don't know. I don't
Taller
remember.
than you.
Right
Taller than me. I mean,
taller than me. Yep.
Yeah.
Married to Pavel Shermy. The two of them together are just like a power couple on this machine.
I wonder, like, I just try to imagine, like, what do they produce as a human being? Like, what does that person look like 25 years from now?
Yeah, I mean, they're like, you're talking about like the next Isaiah Harrison, basically
Exactly.
coming up there, you know, calling back to another bracket.
Now, so we all know, okay, so now we're seeing Great Britain, Ukraine, by the way, and her competitor, Germany. I mean,
yeah,
incredible. And Canada. I think our last hope is Kara Kohler from the United States. I think that she is the last one to round out the Final Four. I hope so, because I really want a U.S. representative here. I mean, we need it. We need it right now.
We need to see different flags represented as we get into the Final Four. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kara is an interesting person. She is so dedicated to the sport, and she's like the least decorated rower out of this. I mean, she's like an NCAA champion. She's, I believe she's an Olympian. She's raced at all levels.
Isn't it crazy to say that she's the least decorated?
Right, exactly right. Like she's a world record holder. She's has not won multiple Olympic medals, but she's an incredible athlete. I mean, do you feel the same way with that prediction? Are you comfortable to say that she's going to advance and move on?
Yeah, I think I'm comfortable to say that she's going to move on, but I'm with you. I got a little bit of a dog in this fight, and I do. You know, it would be fun to see that flag fly, just to see the mix as we come into the Final Four here.
And what a story that is, though, too. I mean, you as a sponsor at this regatta, like I want to show the population what this is, right? Canada, Ukraine, what is it? Great Britain, USA. That's incredible. Like, what other competition out there right now has that ability? I can't name any.
Let's just put it this way: we are sport right now.
Well, we are sport.
We are sport. Everything else is shut down. There's nowhere else you can go to spectate sport. We are sport in this moment in time. Like that's what this is going to be about. This is our ability to have the Olympics in a year when they have been postponed. This is our ability to bring people the love and the joy of having a country to root for, or somebody to root for and somebody to cheer on as they go forward. I think that's what you're seeing play out in this bracket. And I think it's why we all kind of have this desire to see all these different flags represented as we come together in the Final Four, is because this is a big moment. This is what we get right now. And this is amazing. Like, I want to see this competition happen because it's just going to be enjoyable and it gives me something to focus on.
There is nothing I could say to be better than that. We are closing this out. That is it. The breakdown of the women's open division. I hope you enjoyed watching. Shane, thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.